All right, we're going to solve these scale factor problems. To start, before we can do anything like finding that red question mark, we need to find the scale factor. And we had talked about using this setup. The scale factor equals the copy over the original. Okay, that setup will help us find the scale factor. So we got to find some corresponding sides. Corresponding sides are two sides that are related, that we have measures for. Well, we have a measure for this guy. This side measure is 9. Well, that corresponds to our shape. Now my picture is not very clear, but on the paper test it's a lot more evident, relates to this side. So we can find the scale factor because we've got two corresponding sides. The scale factor equals the copy, which is 9, over the original, which is equal 6. And we can reduce that fraction, factor out a 3, so it's 3 halves. So the scale factor is equivalent to 3 halves. That's the relationship between the original and the copy. If 3 halves looks a little tricky to you, well, let's make it into a mixed number then. That's the same thing as 1.5, right? 1.5. That makes sense because if I look at my original, the length of this side was 6, and it got bigger. How much bigger? 1.5 times bigger in the copy. It got to 9. So I just do that to make sure it makes sense. It's 1.5 times bigger. The copy is 1.5 times bigger than the original. So now let's figure out what that red question mark is. We got to find some corresponding sides. So, well, the red question mark is this side of this copy. The corresponding side is this side of the original. We know the scale factor is 8. That means the copy's corresponding side is 1.5 times bigger. 1.5 times bigger. So we can just multiply 8 times 1.5, or in this case, I'm just going to say 3 halves. Okay. I'm going to end up with 24 halves, which is equivalent to 12. So my red question mark is equivalent to 12 units. Okay, that side is equivalent to 12, which is 1.5 times the original side, which was 8. All right, so we found the scale factor. It was 3 halves, and that question mark side of the copy is equal to 12.